One of the hardest things to do is to help someone to break a habit that they've been doing for a long time. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The question is how's that working for you? How is it working for you? Somebody said, coach, nothing's working for me. But you can change that, right? You can change that. Good morning, good morning. My wife and I, we're in Tennessee and doing ministry, doing what we enjoy doing, and that is helping people. I got my book here, man, and some incredible things are happening, and I'm excited. Thank you guys for showing up here in our exclusive group, along with those of you guys following us on YouTube. Today, we're continuing our talk on this whole subject of stress. Let's just accept the fact that stress is real. Okay, stress is real. Stress must be managed. And you and I don't have to be stressed out. Okay, you and I don't have to be stressed out. As a matter of fact, you can take responsibility for your life and start assessing where you are and identifying what's stressing you out. What's stressing you out? Kim, you got to identify what's my stress triggers. What's my stress triggers? I'm going to suggest some things for you. Some things. Now, here's the deal. Life is filled with curveballs. Oh, man. Circumstances and situations beyond our control. How many of y'all believe that? How many of you have accepted that life is loaded with curveballs, circumstances and situations beyond our control? However, we have been given the ability to have the victory in all that we put our hands to. So I aim to have the victory in life in spite of what's happening around me. Okay, in spite of what's happening to me, I'm going to turn a lemon situation into lemonade. Okay, I'm going to discover the lesson. The goal is to discover the lesson. The goal is to pass the test. Okay, so you said, boy, I've just been going from one issue to the next issue to the next issue. What I want you to do is you may need to do a couple of things. I'm going to talk about, okay, I think in my notes, let me look at my notes. I have here, I have 5 things that you want to do, okay, to lower stress. We're not going to eliminate stress. Okay, stress is going to always be around. There's stressful situations all the time, but the question is, how are you managing the stress factors in your life? Okay, how are you managing the stress factors in your life? I'm tired of being stressed out. If that's you, then go ahead and embrace what I'm about to suggest. Okay, go ahead and embrace what I am teaching. None of us have to be stressed out, and going from stressed out to stressed out to stressed out situations will make you sick. Okay, it'll cause you to lose relationships. It'll cause you to lose opportunities because you're just not in a good place. And you know, I've been stressed out. Okay, I've been in a bad place on so many occasions that I now know that, hey, I don't have to live there. And as long as I'm alive, I'm given the opportunity to study. I'm given the opportunity to identify, what do I need to do different? What do I need to do different? What do I need to do different? I don't want to keep repeating the same thing that I've been doing with the anticipation of getting a different result. I don't want to do that. So, Maria, are you ready? Miss Cynthia, are you ready? Huh? Are you ready? I want to know. I want to know. Let's go ahead and dive into this because this is real good stuff, and it'll work if you work it. Okay, it'll work if you work it. So you just got to commit. I'm going to do what I got to do. Okay, Angela, you just got to tell yourself, I'm going to do what I got to do. All right, and here's the deal. Once you identify principles that you know that you need to incorporate in your life, do not just start them and then stop. Don't start and stop. Start and stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be consistent. It's better to identify one principle and apply the principle for the entire year, then find another principle and apply that principle, and then find another principle, and then here's the deal. Here's the deal. When you start applying these different principles over time, you're going to find that it's going to show up in your life in a great way. Okay, it's going to show up in your life in a great way. So I want us to go ahead and do this because the goal is to help as many people as possible. As I mentioned before, I've been cornered. I've been finding myself in stressful situations over the years, and lately I'm learning how to bring a level of control to the situation to where I'm not stressed out. As a matter of fact, Pastor Clay, it's been so cool to find that safe place to be able to just flow. And I believe that's the will of God for all of us to be able to just allow the Holy Spirit to guide us through our day. And just tell yourself, with God's help, I got this. I'm not going to allow this situation to break me. I'm not going to allow this season to disrupt my inner self. So number one, we're talking 5 practical things to do to lower stress. Number one, practice deep breathing. I'm going very practical. Practice deep breathing. Sometimes you just gotta breathe. There's a healthy way to just practice deep breathing. You need this, okay? You need to practice deep breathing. Just learning to disconnect from the moment, and just go ahead and breathe. Oh man, now this is sinus and allergy season for me, so I'm a little stuffed up, but that's okay. What I do know is, you know, you ever saw a therapist at work? You ever saw a counselor at work and they're dealing with somebody who is, they're stressed out, anxiety is overtaking them, they're just starting to shake and it's getting frustrated. And you be like, hey, hold on, breathe. Just take a deep breath and calm down. Okay? Calm down. So here's the deal. It really does work. So practice deep breathing. Okay? But here's the deal. This one, number two, okay? Number two is practice prayer and meditation. It's connected. Practice prayer and meditation. I put prayer and meditation together because I believe that there are just too many of us who are going. And even in our prayer time, we're not meditating. But I believe meditation is connected to disconnecting. I believe meditating is connected to disconnecting. So when I say meditate, you just got to learn how to pull back. For somebody like you, Pastor Claire, I mean, you live right there in the Bahamas with the beautiful beaches. You just got to go and sit at the beach and sit on that bench, and just disconnect. But in that disconnecting, go ahead and just stop praying. Just stop praying. Just talk to God. So now you practice breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. That's number one. But then number two, Miss Phyllis, then you just need to sometimes stop and you just if you're in Arlington area, go to Joe Pool Lake. Okay? If you're in the Dallas area, go to White Rock Lake, I think it is. But I like water. I like being around water. Sometimes it's just commit to just sitting on your porch, sitting on your patio, and just allow yourself to disconnect. Don't take your phone with you. Don't take your tablet with you. But just go ahead, and just work that in. Just work that in. Let me tell you something. It will do something for you. It'll do something for you that others just can't understand. You can't explain. The old people back, Pastor Claire they would go to the beach and they would walk the beach. My grandmother would do it all the time. And right just close to the shore and let the water. And studies have shown sometimes you just got to connect. Take off your shoes, take off your socks. And sometimes it's just walk the beach, just walk the sand. I go outside because this will go to one of my other points in a minute. But I go outside and sometimes you just need your feet just to connect with the earth. And you just need to be just out there, just walking barefooted, just barefooted, just connecting. Okay, just connecting. You want to become better connected with yourself at your core. Okay, you want to become better connected with yourself at your core. So what you got to do then is, I believe meditation is an important ingredient. Oh, it's so not looked into, so not appreciated by so many people, and it's because it takes work. If you can learn, oh my God, if you can learn how to turn off everything for 10 minutes and just have complete silence. I'm not even talking about when you're praying, you're going into a marathon, a sprint of issues with the Lord. Oh Lord, I pray for my kids. I pray for my grandkids. Oh Lord, the light bill, the water bill, the this and the that. That's almost like, that's like when you go to a therapist. There are a lot of people who do that. Then when they go to a therapist, they got so much issues in their life, you're going to need about 25 sessions before you can get to the point where you're just in a good place and the therapist can slow down and they can ask you, how did that make you feel? How does that make, and people crack joke about that question, but it's such a great question. Okay, so you don't want to have that prayer life. You don't want to have that prayer life where it's all crisis. It's, prayer has become synonymous with crisis. A lot of people, the only time they think of prayer is when issues emerge. When I think prayer is not only should be involved in the believer's life. When it comes to an issue, I think it's a relationship with the Father where you just spend time with God. And sometimes you don't have to say anything. Hello. How many of y'all agree with that? Sometimes you don't have to say anything. Hello, God. Thank you. Thank you for giving me today. I just want to sit on this patio. I just want to sit on this porch. I just want to sit in this backyard. I just want to sit here and just say thank you. And then what I want to do is I want to disconnect. I want to find myself in my best place, working on me to get to where I'm trying to go. I believe all of us can do a little bit better with making sure that we're spending quality time with God, meditating, connecting. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 is sweat it out. Who's writing this down? Y'all writing this down? Number 1 was practicing deep breathing. You're stressed out. Practice deep breathing. Simply just got to practice deep breathing. Number 2 is practice. Number 2 is practice prayer and meditation. Okay? Practice prayer and meditation. Number 3 is sweat it out. Sweat it out. This one was a big difference maker for me. Out of all of these on this list, this was one of the big ones when I was at my most stressfulest place. Miss Phyllis, I would go on brisk walk. I would walk 3-4 miles. Okay? At the height of it, I was doing 8 miles, 10 miles. Okay? Then I started signing up for 5Ks and half marathon. And then I did a full marathon. Come on, sweat it out, sweat it out. I go to the gym, I do 10 miles on the bike. I do 5 miles on the treadmill. Sweat it out. How many of y'all know? Boy, let me tell you something. You want to get that stress factor worked out. Oh man, go embrace that. Go and embrace the brisk walking. Go embrace the little jog, that little pep in your step. It works. I mean, I don't have time to go walk. Park your car as soon as you get home and go walk the block. Just walk the block. Okay, walk the block. Walk the block. It's really, really good. Do a little jog in there. Get that heartbeat pumping a little bit. Get that heartbeat pumping a little bit. Just go ahead and embrace it. I'm telling you, you don't have to be stressed out. But in addition to not being stressed out in your understanding that I don't have to be stressed out. I don't have to be stressed out. I can accept that. But boy, let me tell you something. Yeah. Pastor Claire said 10 miles, you were really stressed. Yeah, but yesterday, I was like Forrest Gump, Pastor Claire, 10 miles. As a matter of fact, at the height of it, because really the 10 miles, when I did 10 miles, it was actually attached to also when I was training for the half marathon. And the height of it, I did 18 miles. I never went further than 18 miles in my preparation for the marathon, okay? So it was I call it speed walking / jogging. Speed walking / jogging. But boy, let me tell you something. They crack joke about it in Forrest Gump, but boy, it's all, man. You're talking about will clear your head, talking about put you in a more healthier place in regards to all that's going on. And by the time I got home, I was like, I just felt great. Just give me some water, sit down on the porch again, and just chill out. It's not as bad. I'm telling you, this is the way you work within. These are all within, okay? Now, here's the deal. Sweat it out. Work it out. Go ahead. Do that walk. Do that run. Do that jog. And watch and see what happens. Number 4, okay? All of these are somewhat attached because these are what's worked for me, but then studies have shown they've worked all along for a lot of people, for generations. Number 4, spend time in nature. Spend time in nature. I've been doing yard work, not yard work from a labor intensive standpoint. I've been doing yard work because of this. It is my secret place. It is my secret place. A nature trail. You say, well, I walk that particular trail once a week. There's sometimes you have parks where they have just once again the walking trails. You want to do those walking trails. In my case, I'm in my yard 3 times a week, 3-4 times a week. And I know my neighbors sometimes think it's a little obsession because I would cut the grass twice a week. I'm in the flower bed. As a matter of fact, I want to put more time into it. And it's not so much just for beautification, which at the end of the day, the yard looks good because I'm spending time in the yard. but boy, does it work. Go ahead and check it out. You're pulling up weeds, but you're having that quiet time, that connecting time. Get on your knees and pull those weeds, get in those flower beds. Listen, some point, right by our home, people walk because of the walkway and the trail and so forth. And I've had people pull up and they say, are you using a scissors in your flowers bed? I had a small scissors, Pastor Claire. Angela, I'm using a small scissors, and I'm clipping the edges of this tree that has the ball. And because of my shed, the shed that I use, the big one, it's too big. So I would sit down, Pastor Claire, I would sit down and I would start clipping. I would clipping like a barber. I'm clipping. And it's not about the clipping. It's the quiet connecting time that I have outside. It's connecting with nature. It's a part of my prayer time. It's a part of my reflecting time. It's a part of me unplugging. And this is the time I don't need my phone. This is the time I don't need no music. This is the time I'm not talking to anybody. This is the time I'm not complaining. This is the time like I'm totally off the grid. I'm totally off the grid. And let me tell you something. Oftentimes, if I have a very busy day, I want to start my day off in nature. I just want to go outside, just sit in the yard, do some clipping of the trees, and just walk the park. And it's just nature has its way of connecting with us at our very core if we allow it to. So God gave us all of this beauty that nature provides, and a lot of us, bird watching is beautiful. That's one of the things I put up a bird feeder a couple of years back at my house back then, and I would sit down on the patio and I would watch the different birds come and be eating. I would watch the squirrels trying to get to the bird feeder, and I know people are like, wow, he's always on that porch. Guess what? I got a rocking chair. I bought Karen one. I bought me one. I got 2 rocking chairs, and they sit out there on the porch, on the front porch, and we just sit out there and just sometimes just rock and watch the pond and watch the birds and just chill, just connect. You got to remind yourself, God did not create me to be stressed out. God did not create me. It's not the will of God for me to be stressed out. Remind yourself, it's not the will of God for me to be stressed. So then you start, number one, you start deep breathing. Just practice breathing deep. Just practice deep breathing deep. Number 2, practice prayer meditation. Start praying. Just believe in God to walk you through this. Believe in God to help you to learn how to connect. Number 3, sweat it out, work out. I believe that you should try to work out at least 3 to 4 days a week. You practice working out 3-4 days a week, you'll find yourself in a whole lot better position. Okay. Then I say spend time in nature. Okay. Spend time outdoors. Spend time outdoors. It really, really works. And the last but not least, do something fun. Do something fun. Fun doesn't always have to be connected to other people. Fun could be just about you. When you can learn to have fun alone, that's when you're, I believe, at your most healthiest place. I'm talking about learning how to have fun. Some people, they're stressed out because they're carrying too much. How many of y'all agree with that? They're just carrying too much. They're carrying everything. They're carrying the issues of their parents. They're carrying the issues of their children. They're carrying the issues of the job. They're carrying the issues of the neighborhood. Then they turn on the TV and they're listening to the news and they're carrying the issues. You have to pay attention. What's bringing me down? What's bringing me down? I don't want to be carrying this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn how to fun. So cleaning the house, I've learned how to make cleaning the house fun. Being outside in the yard, I've learned how to make that fun. Listen, your commute to the office, that's the most stressful experience. It don't have to be. Make it fun. Make it fun. And so remove the whole idea of it's a task. It don't have to be a task. It can be fun. Now, it is a task, but that task can be turned into something you enjoy doing. Okay? Don't look at life from a task perspective. Look at life as a journey, and look at the journey as one that you have the responsibility to create enjoyable moments along the way within. If you're not making it fun, then over time it's going to become more stressful in having to do it. And so if you got to clean up a house, make it fun. If you're going to go to work and it's a traffic time, figure out how can I make this enjoyable. Okay, how do I make this enjoyable? This is not a what they call a cell, but it's a cell. Sometimes you need help to figure out how do I bring about better management to this stressful life that I've created, because you are responsible for uncluttering yourself and putting yourself in a healthy place. So we'll go ahead and ask yourself, how can I, and maybe I need to get help. Maybe I need to get help. So go ahead, get a therapist, go ahead, get a counselor, go ahead, get a coach, get somebody to walk you through what you're going through. You don't have to live where you are. There's a better place. Now, here's the deal. Don't take for granted the help that God has sent your way. Don't get so familiar and so particular that you don't embrace your deliverer or the thing that can deliver you. That be it the book, the class, the therapist, the session, whatever it is. Remind yourself, God did not create me to be going from one crisis to the next crisis to the next crisis. That's not the will of God. So I need to change some things to get to where I'm trying to go. I suggest, and let me do a case study. Let's go ahead and check this out as I close out our talk. I got 2 minutes. How many of you already now practice deep breathing? How many of you knew of that and you knew that it would help and you practice it? Write that down. If you're in the chat, go ahead and let me know. Number 2, how many of you guys practice good, healthy, disconnecting time for prayer and meditation? Pastor Clay, I don't know if you remember those days at Pentecostal Church of Faith in God in the Bahamas, where we would go at the church and we just shut in. And a few years ago, I was at a place where I just went into the sanctuary and just laid out on the floor. Turn your phone off, just lay out on the floor. Come on. Just shut it all off. And it wasn't that life was hard at the time and I was going through issue after issue. No. It was just, this was what I needed. I needed to pray. I needed to meditate. I needed to spend some real good time with God. Okay, I just needed to spend some time with God. And a lot of people, they don't do that. It's just they're not in a good place. How many of you guys work out? How many of you guys practice about 3 or 4 days working out? Here's another thing. I didn't put this on my list, but watch what you eat. Some food goes against a healthier you. Okay, some food goes against a healthier you. What you're indulging in is hurting you. And you got to now start to study and you realize all things are permissible to me, but not all things are beneficial. I'm not going to allow myself, oh no, I can't eat that. That's not going to help me in the long run. That's going to hurt me. Okay, I'm not going to eat that. That's not going to help me. How many of you guys are spending time in nature? How many of you guys are doing that? I really want to see. Okay. Daily 3-mile walk. I think that's Kim. Come on. That's awesome. Nice. Kim, does it work for you? Does it work for you? Do you feel good? I'm telling you, man, it feels great. How many of you schedule in fun activities for you? What is it that you do for fun? Have you been making life fun for you? Have you been intentional about creating the enjoyment factor throughout the concept of, I have all of this to do. I want to make sure I enjoy what I do. Okay? I want to make sure I enjoy what you do. Well, guys, tomorrow we have our Ask Coach Ricardo session. I am looking forward to it. And so I'm looking forward to talking with somebody, answering some questions. If you're interested in being a part of that, let me know. I'll answer any questions you want. Direct message me and say, hey, coach, I want to talk with you. I want to ask you some questions about this whole concept of managing stress. Sometimes we just got to stop doing a lot of the things we've been doing because those things have been hurting us. Some people, well, I don't know how to stop. Guess what? Someone is assigned to help you. Okay? Someone is assigned to help you. You just got to want it bad. You just got to believe that you can change. And then if you can't do it by yourself, get help. Remind yourself someone is assigned to help me. Okay? Don't let stress bring you down. Don't let stress bring you down. Don't let stress ruin the future that's already coming towards you, but you're already messing it up because of how and what you're doing on a daily basis. God bless you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you all tomorrow. It's going to be good. Bye-bye.